I don't even think I've been single for like 3 months ever. I would love to give Brittany a nasty little 8. Lil Nas X made out with him. Live TV. Girl, I don't got nothing for you.
When it comes to choreography, you said you try not to do the same thing twice. Does that apply to the boudoir?
Welcome to the Logo Spill Bar, where the signature cocktail is always tea, bitch. I'm your bartender and host, Johnny Sibilly, and today's guest is the choreographer to the stars. From Lil Nas X to Victoria Monet to Tate McRae, his work has taken over your feed. A visionary creating culture. Did you hear me? Culture. Let's raise a glass to this fine king, Sean Bankhead.
Yep.
Ooh.
I've made it.
Damn.
I don't know where that came from, and I'm gonna feel that tomorrow. Okay. Hey, Johnny.
Hi, baby.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
God, I'm excited to be here.
So happy to
this
have
legendary set.
Oh, it's legendary now.
This is legendary. Season 3, right?
Cheers. Season 4.
Season 4.
We're giving more. I'm gonna start off by asking you a question I asked Mr. La Roche.
Yes, love law.
How does it feel to be that bitch?
You know what? It feels good.
Yeah.
No, you know, I think that it's been a long journey for me. I started when I was like 16 years old.
Yeah.
And I've had a very slow kind of burn to get to where I am now. It's almost 20 years.
Wow. Yeah. You don't need to do the math.
Yeah, don't do the math. But, you know, I do realize in like the last 2-3 years that I kind of really have been kind of getting my flowers publicly. Mm-hmm. And it really does feel, it feels good. It feels amazing because I have worked my ass off to maintain and keep growing. That's a hard thing to do in this business, to keep maintaining for almost 20 years and keep growing.
Steadily, yeah. Well, you are at the tippy top. All right, and I'm gonna read you some names, okay?
Okay.
Beyonce.
Oh.
Cardi B.
Yeah.
Meg Thee Stallion. Victoria Monet.
Love her.
Missy Elliot. Lil Nas X.
Yeah.
Tate McRae. Normani.
Yes.
All singular performers.
Yeah.
How do you perfectly capture their essence in these performances but also infuse you into it?
Yeah, I think that is one of the biggest things that I try to make sure that every artist is individual. Yeah. All of them have different abilities. You know, Cardi B is not the same dancer that a Victoria or Normani are. And, you know, Lil Nas X doesn't have the same music as Missy Elliot does. Right. But I try to respect the artist and still push them. Bring the artist out. Don't try to make them who you want them to be, but make them the best versions of themselves. Yeah. And I think that's always been my goal.
Yeah. Do artists ever change you? Like, do you ever feel like, oh, I'm learning something right now from them?
Missy Elliot.
Really?
Missy really changed my life. She was really the first artist that I think I would come in with my best 8 counts and I would be like, oh, this shit fire. Like, oh, she gonna kill us. And she'd be like, try again tomorrow. Ooh. And I would be like, oh, huh.
Right.
Okay. But it made me stay on my toes, number one. It made me also realize that Missy is a legend. She's an icon. She's an innovator. So her vision is way beyond anything that I've really ever experienced with artists that I work with, because a lot of artists that I work with are new artists, or they're up and coming, whether it's Tate McRae or Lil Nas or Normani. You know, the thing about Missy, we rehearsing 10 p.m. to 3 a.m.
Wow.
Every day. You know, and you're sitting in this studio at 2 o'clock in the morning, like, girl, I don't got nothing for you. My brain doesn't work.
Right.
And then she'll be like, you know, well, I'm sitting on this bouncy ball, this medicine ball, and she's like, I like that, do something with it. And I'm like, huh?
Ooh,
you know?
Yeah.
But again, she always pushed me. She always challenged me to be better. She always challenged me to be innovative. And I think when I get into rooms now, I'm always like, I can do better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Missy always pushed me.
Do you ever feel like you work with artists where you have a little bit of a gay panic, where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I get to do this, and like, you know, it kind of gets in front of the work a little bit, but when you're like, oh.
Yes and no. I mean, obviously Lil Nas, you know, that's like my little brother. I knew when I first saw him come out, I was like, he has something special. His stylist at the time, Hodo, I love Hodo, shout out to Hodo, was like, you need to work with Nas, teach him how to be a bad bitch. That's literally what she said, teach him how to be a bad bitch. And I was like, okay, I could do that.
Yeah.
And I just think it was such open territory because we really have not seen a openly dark-skinned, black, queer rap artist ever, dominate a pop space, but then also be fearless in a way that we can dance butt naked in the shower and none of us blink twice. Like we were like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Yeah. Working with him and working with Cardi B and Meg, and we're scissoring on the Grammy stage, and I got the FCC calling me. Yeah, I wanted to scissor on the Grammy stage.
When you're in, the thick of behind the scenes, like creating all of these gay moments, because even me, who's like been gay since very little, I was like, oh, we're doing it like that. Yeah. What do those conversations look like when it's just you two? Like, what does that feel like?
Yeah, I usually am like, hey, so I have this idea. And I think the first time we do SNL, I kind of see like this boy licking your neck. How do you feel? He's like, yeah. I think he just really trusted my creativity, and I also think he trusted the fact that if I do something like that, it will be tasteful, it will be choreographed well. Yeah. It will be something that's talked about, but it's a necessity to talk about it. Now, on the other hand, I will tell you a story that I don't know if a lot of people know, but we did the BET Awards, we did Call Me By Your Name. We knew we wanted to do something shock value worth, but it just kept feeling forced. And we're like, you know what, let's just do a great performance, let's keep it at that. I'm watching the monitor, backstage, they're doing the performance, they're killing it, everything's great. And all of a sudden, at the very end of the performance, he grabs one of the dancers' face that he was dating at the time, and he didn't tell any of us, and made out with him. Live TV at the BET Awards, was never planned.
How did you feel?
I freaked the fuck out because I hear the producers like, what's going on? You guys never practiced this? He was just like, you know what? I'm gonna take this moment. I don't need to talk it through with my creative team. I feel like this is what I wanna do. This is where I am in my life creatively. And I'm just gonna go for it.
Right.
And
yeah, they had that little conversation on the side. It's like,
they did. Yeah, because
because when you're in a relationship with someone, you're like, let's be crazy. Yeah. Let's give them something to talk about.
And they was hiding that relationship. I should have known. I should have known.
The gay lover reveal.
They do.
For Victoria Monet's On My Mama, you said it was a music video celebrating Black excellence, Black culture, Black music, Black dance, Black fashion, Black pop stars, Black skate life, Black memes, Black virality, Black blackness. And I just want to say, I see you, bitch. Clearly, you're inspired by those that came before you. And I want to say, like, it shows, and how do you take that, but also push the culture forward with what you're doing?
As highlighting as much that has inspired me, I think is the biggest ode to where I am today. Yeah. I would not be able to create freely as I do if it weren't for the Michaels, the Janets, the Ushers, the Aaliyahs, the Missy Elliots, and I am such a fan of trying to put little Easter eggs or just little odes to something that inspires me, because I want those creatives and I want those choreographers and I want those artists to know, like, this generation does see you, and I so appreciate what you've done to inspire me to still pursue this as a career. Anytime I can put a meme in something, or anytime I'm heavy on Twitter, I'm heavy on TikTok, I know what's going on. And I think that's another kind of art that, if you can massage it into really great choreography or really great music videos, that it's just a test of time, and you can go back 10 years from now, I'm like, that's from 2024.
And I love that you are so close to talking to fans to be like, when Tate McRae's doing this strut, and you're like, we were on her ass about that walk.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
Tate, I love you, but she had never seen Beyonce Crazy in Love video.
Dun, 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 dun.
To be fair, she's 22.
Right.
But again, I love watching past performances, and I love showing my idols to the artists.
Were you there when she watched it for the first time?
Yeah, I was like, oh no, we're watching this right now. I put it up on my phone. I was like, this is the energy that you need to exude, because the gays and the days and the women know what this is. And people are like, that walk is bad. That's one thing. Yeah. When I first auditioned dancers way back in the day, the first thing I would ever ask them to do was walk. I just want to see you walk. Don't freestyle, don't use your arms, just walk straight. Ooh. That says a lot about someone.
know, as a true Virgo, I like to take things back to Beyonce.
Yes.
She's royalty, obviously.
Obviously.
And you've known her since your single lady days. What's something about Queen Bee that the fans would be shocked to know?
I just think it was just such a sweet, professional time that I had to get to work with her.
Yeah.
Doing Single Ladies was like my first big like queer thing too, because at the time I wasn't necessarily closeted, but I never really talked to my extended family about my sexuality.
Yeah.
And getting to do Single Ladies, me and Jonte were the only two boys to ever do Single Ladies. That's a bit of history. I was really nervous because I just graduated high school, and I just was like, wow, I think I'm like jumping off the cliff pretty quick. And they wanted me to wear heels, and I was like, I don't know about the heels. Like, can I just do the step?
Right.
But it was one of those like rip the Band-Aid off and just go for it, jump off the cliff. And I'm so glad that I got to have that opportunity with Beyonce.
Do you ever like, just to hear you say that like you were hesitant, but then you jumped off the cliff, like just seeing you both do that, do you realize how many specifically black gay boys you inspired to jump off their own cliff in the best way possible? You know what I mean? Like to jump into the deep end and be like, this is me.
It has been hard. You know, there's been a lot of challenges, and I've had to kind of lay my life on the line, lay my life on the tracks, take a couple bullets to keep opening paths and doors that a lot of people probably be surprised that I still encounter being gay. You know, there's still a lot of discrimination. There's still a lot of, you know, just a lot of the bullshit that I'm like, y'all gonna see a new face to respect when it comes to dance choreographers and the arts in general.
Cheers to that. I think that deserves a sip. Woo! So speaking of your recent work with girly pop rising star Tate McRae.
Love Tate.
Can you spill a little tea on the pop goddess that is Tate McRae?
She came from such a huge dance background, but it was contemporary.
Right.
And I think what was kind of shocking was that I stripped all of the contemporaryism away and was like, let's do the pop 8 counts. Because I think it just was more marketable, and I think that there was a wide open lane for pop girls that could give a sickening 8 like a Britney Spears. I think a lot of her fans were kind of like, we love Tate when she could do a back split and do this, that, and the third. I'm like, we'll pop it in there, but I think to sell music, you need that catchy hook that everybody can do. It's okay, I'm okay, I really gotta say. And the other thing about it is, Miss Tate McRae sings down. She sings live. So if you go to her show, you know, a lot of times the clips that might go viral will be the dance break. But as soon as that dance break's over, that mic is on and she's singing. So props to Tate for making sure that she's her own artist. She's like, I want to sing. I want to have a microphone. I don't want to do this. And I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. Because, you know, that is the thing. Everyone wants to put somebody else on you. But it's also giving a new generation of people their own situation, you know.
A new Tate McRae.
So folks are always comparing anyone that can do an 8 count to Miss Britney Spears. You know, which...
The icon.
You know, of course.
The legend.
Do you think Britney should come out of retirement, and would you creative direct?
Selfishly, yes and yes.
Yeah.
Selfishly, absolutely. I would love to give Britney a nasty little 8. Oh, I would love it. I really would.
The way she sells to a camera, the way she delivers that body, that gymnastics body.
Nasty.
It's nasty.
It's nasty. She's so
Get nasty.
Yeah.
Well, you've done a lot of work lately with K-pop's BLACKPINK breakout, Lisa.
Yes.
Are the K-pop girls coming in hungrier than the rest of the girls?
You know who's coming in hungry? Them K-pop fans. Oh my God. They, you know, woo. I'm just gonna leave that at that. Again, every artist is so different, and working with an artist from a Korean style of artistry has been different, and they're very quick. They're like, hey, can she come in an hour and we shoot like in the next hour? And I'm like, whoa, pause.
Yeah.
I like to rehearse. I like to workshop things. I like to come in the next day. I like to sleep on it. I didn't like that yesterday. Let's try this. They work extremely fast, but I will say that Lisa is one of the sweetest people I've ever met. Yeah. And she learns so fast. She's like a robot. She just retains. But also, I love putting some of my black queer isms in there. Like, she be getting it. You know, I just got to do the Victoria's Secret fashion show, which I'm still kind of That was kind of one of the biggest things I did this year that kind of really like, wow.
You remember those from back in the day.
Absolutely.
Like, so that's so great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think one of the biggest things culturally, again, that I love to do as a Black queer creative, I've been obsessed with like HBCU fashion shows and runway and the way that I've always wanted to incorporate that in like a music video or something. I was so grateful like, to bring that culture to a whole new stage, number one, which is Victoria's Secret, but then two, a whole new fan base, which, you know, is the K-pop crew. And so that was really special for me. That was a special moment that I feel like I've done a lot of things and it gets a little monotonous, but that one was really special for me.
Yeah. You spoke about teams, and you know, sometimes as an artist, you go from really, really wanting it and to please everybody to knowing when to set a boundary for certain things. What would you say to like a young up and coming like dancer, choreography, creative director that is like, what is one boundary that you're like, this is going to be important for you?
Well, creating boundaries.
That's right, the simple, the act of it.
Because when I was really young, a lot of, how do I put this? A lot of managements and labels tried to be like, okay, here, I want you to choreograph, I want you to be creative, but don't do this, don't do that, don't do too much, don't have her looking like this, don't. And that always used to stifle my creativity. I mean, the first artist that I really had to learn that was working with Fifth Harmony, because that was a doozy.
Yeah.
5 girls, the ups
All
and downs,
different
all
personalities,
different
too.
personalities, all different levels of talents, but also it was a manufactured group. I learned a lot from managements and switching of managements, and it was tough. And it got to a point where it was just drama all the time, and I couldn't do what I wanted to do because then they're like, well, you don't get along with this person, and they don't appreciate you for this and this, that, and the third, so you only get them for an hour. And I'm like, well, we're choreographing an entire show in 3 days. For now the work is being jeopardized because I'm stifling who I am as a creative. You have to set boundaries and trust your gut and your artistic eye all the time, 24/7.
One of the things I love about you is that you are Sean Bankhead. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like...
That's like Beyonce. She's like, thank you.
I know. I like to say that to people because it is true. It's good to remind people that you are so much more than choreography, dance. Like, you are giving a full breadth of personality. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
So, your schedule's packed.
Yeah.
But do you ever find time to date? Yeah, that means yes.
So, I mean, yeah, but unfortunately, my relationships have really taken some hits because of my career. I'm newly single, which is new for me because I've been in relationships consistently like for 7 years.
Oh, a relationship girly.
Yeah. I'm a relationship girly. So this is new. Like, I don't even think I've been single for like 3 months ever.
But that's good. Something
It's
new.
good.
It's a new era.
It's good, and I'm okay. Like, I'm like, okay.
It's okay. I'm okay.
It's okay, I'm okay. I don't really gotta say it's okay, I'm okay.
When it comes to choreography, you said you try not to do the same thing twice. Does that apply to the boudoir?
Shit. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I be
You got a couple moves that you're like, this is my tried and true.
Yeah, I got my tried and trues, but I for sure, like, I be trying shit out. Yeah. You have to.
They're
gotta keep
like
them on
Missy
their toes.
Elliot. I don't like that. Try again tomorrow.
That's kind of wild. I be, yeah. That's where I get my inspiration from. Honestly.
I can see it in the moves.
Yeah.
Well, you spilled so much. I feel empowered. I
Me
feel
too.
good.
Me too.
And I feel sexy.
Yeah, me 3.
Yum, 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 yum.
You're watching Logo Spill. Please subscribe. Do it now, baby. Yes! You and my yes.